guys, welcome back. Holster month is upon us. You can see my microphone is here to hopefully improve the audio quality. Also, I did get a complaint about the visual quality in regards to one of the videos that I made, because I'm actually using a new camera, which is a GoPro. It's a GoPro Max, so I haven't really mastered that yet. So I added a bunch of light to make sure that I can get better, I guess you could say, ISO ratings or whatever they call it. I don't know. But anyway, let's talk about why we're here, and that's this holster for this month. It's actually two. The first one is this one here, and I haven't put it on, but I'll put it on next. And this is one of my favorite holsters from Eddie Massaro from Massaro Holsters. Just great stuff. But the one thing I wanted to show you first was actually this one that I'm wearing. Now, one of the things you're going to notice is I have a little bit of a looser sweatshirt. You know, you might actually see a little bit of printing, especially if you bend over. You're definitely going to see it more on the grip area. But this is a very straight up and down holster, and it's actually outside the waistband. So even though it may be printing, you can tell that it's actually not that bad for an outside the waistband holster, especially if you're wearing some loose garments, maybe a jacket over this. Again, it's super, super easy to draw. All you're going to be doing is pulling up that shirt, and out comes the gun. This is for my P10C, and to reholster is very easy. So I'm going to switch out really quick, put the inside the waistband holster so you can see that one as well, and then we'll go to the table. So hold on for 2 seconds. All right, so we're back, and this is actually going to be the inside the waistband holster from Eddie Massaro on Massaro Holsters. So I've actually shown these before on the channel, and he sent me a new one for my P10C. And again, we'll go to the table so you can see both in full color, so to speak. But as you can see, this one is much easier to conceal. Again, my clothing is still the same. You're not going to see a heck of a lot. Yeah, maybe a little bit when you're bending over with the grip of the handgun. But the P10C is not really a compact. It's more of an in-betweener in regards to full size and compact, but it's extremely easy. The cantability is fantastic. Again, I have this thing snugged in there. I haven't actually adjusted the actual retention on it. So if you're going to do that, obviously you want to adjust that retention. So as you pull your gun, it's a very easy movement, very easy also to holster that the gun. And you can see it sits perfectly right on my hip. Again, great fitting handgun, really good stuff from Massaro Holsters. So let's go to the table so you can see both of them. And, you know, at the end of the video, leave some comments down below.
All right, guys, welcome back to the table. And on the table, you see the original American Purebred. This was one of Eddie's first entries into the holster market, and he did a great job with it. He sent me one of these for my CZP-10C, and once again, not a disappointment. So you can see how well it holds the gun. I mean, it's just really, really well done. The quality of the Kydex is good. The quality of the cut and the way it molds to the gun has not been nothing but perfect. Every single thing that he's ever sent to me has been just fantastic. One of the interesting features about the American Purebred is the fact that he's even improved the backings of these holsters. So in the older ones, these perforations in the back of the holster weren't as large. Now they're a little bit bigger. As a matter of fact, you can actually see my hand passing through it very easily, which is kind of cool. You know, that's kind of neat. And again, that gives you the ability to breathe with your holster, so to speak. So that if you're hot, sweaty, you live in, you know, the South or something like that, you're going to get a little bit more quality and use out of it. So that's a pretty good feature. Now, some people have asked me about the spring clips. I've had no issues with them. You know, some people were concerned that they may break down or they may not work as effective as they should. I haven't seen it. Now, could it over time? Maybe. But I'm just not thinking that. I mean, the steel clips seem to work very well. There really is no issue. The Kydex hand, again, perfect. And more importantly, the Velcro stays put. There's not an issue with the Velcro either, nothing that I've seen. Now, in all transparency, I don't wear these holsters every day. You know, I tend to go with different holsters all the time. I haven't had Glocks in a while. Now that I have one, I'll be using his holster that he sent to me for that last year. But now that I have this for the P10C, and again, this is the only holster I have for the P10C right now, you know it's going to get used. And I'm glad that I have it because it works really well. You can adjust the height, you can lower it, raise it, cant it forward, you can cant it straight or backwards, upside down, whatever it is that you're looking for. But nonetheless, it's a functional, effective holster. It has been since day one, and Eddie continues to innovate, so to speak. So this is his outside the waistband holster. And, you know, as you saw when I was wearing it, is it 100% invisible? No. And, you know, some people may say, well, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes, yes. Excuse me. Sometimes, no. And the reason why I say that, it's going to really depend on the environment you're in. You know, if you live in an environment where people are going to be, you know, gun phobic, maybe you have to cover it up a little bit better. But for those of you who are still carrying concealed in free states, you may not have that issue. Again, also keep in mind the CZ-P10C is not necessarily the smallest gun. It's a fairly large gun, even though it's supposedly a compact. I think it's a little bigger than a compact, but not as big as a full size. I think we could all agree to that. So as a result, even though you saw me printing, it's probably going to be a lot better for guns that are smaller. Nonetheless, it still does a heck of a job. Once again, here's your retention point, a nice solid click. The retention is excellent on this. Now you're going to notice also that on the back, he's got two separate areas. And one of the things that I was concerned about with this, and I'll show you on the inside of the holster, was the way this thing was set up. You can see the hardware. And one of the things I was extremely concerned about was after I was holstering this gun, would the hardware actually leave marks on my handgun? And I'm happy to say that it doesn't. And there's a reason why, and I'll show you. So as you holster your gun, you're going to notice that once again, because of the way this shell is and the fact that Eddie has actually canted this, or I should say angled it closer to your body, this piece of hardware is located right there. Now, because there's this angle, the actual gun never touches this side of the Kydex because it's actually angled this way. This hardware is right here, and it's nowhere near your gun because, well, the gun isn't there. I mean, it's not. So it's actually a little bit more to this side where the gun is not. And it's actually a pretty intuitive and pretty ingenious design. Once again, you got your single point of retention. The gun is able to easily be taken out of the holster and also reholstered, as you saw when I was drawing it from my standing position. And I have to say, once again, Eddie Massaro does a great job, guys. If you have not checked out these holsters, I've got to say I've always been impressed. Not only that, but the man is a hardworking guy. He, I know recently he was considering maybe dropping out of sight for a while, and I'm so glad that he decided not to, because he's still making really good stuff. You'll notice here also that it is cut for an optic. You also have the ability to run higher sights if you choose to. So you're getting a complete package in a holster that's going to hold up well, that's going to do its job, that's innovative, and also extremely usable. So in my advice, or my opinion, I should say, if you haven't tried one of these holsters, you should try it out. I think you're going to be very pleased with it. You know, one of the things I love about Holster Month is that there's so many good options out there, and that hopefully some of these videos will introduce some of you out there to new products that you're going to be willing to try out. So leave those comments down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. What do you think about this setup? Do you have experience with it? And if not, would you choose to go and maybe get one of these? Because I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So as always, everyone, stay safe, have a great night, and freedom is never free.